Page 44 brings us to chorales. A chorale on the marimba is when notes or chords are connected smoothly and evenly by rolling. Now, as you look ahead into the etudes of Azalea and Wellington, you'll notice that both of them start with a single line melody. Then, after a number of bars, a second note is added, so 2 mallets playing at the same time, and then 3, and then 4. So your challenge is to have that single line melody be very smooth and very fluid, and then gradually add in the added voices in the same manner. Now, to make this easy, or easier, utilize a soft mallet. Soft mallets help to hide some of the articulation and to make the rolling sound very smooth. Also, as you notice the music, look at the phrase markings. The phrase markings tell the player where to breathe. So important to breathe. You and I both know that we do not have to breathe at those moments, unlike a horn player or a trumpet player. However, watch the violinist, who doesn't have to breathe either. As that bow lifts off the string, they will breathe and then start the next passage and phrase. You should do the same thing. It will help your music to be expressive and lyrical. Now, regarding roll speed, your charge is to keep a constant roll speed. Marimbas are often criticized by performing accelerations and deaccelerations when they're playing rolls. That might sound a little bit like this. In a chorale setting, it might sound like this. Now, this may feel fine to you as the player, but to the audience, they hear these series of swells and it sounds more like a rhythm, and it does not sound expressive. Think about how a cellist would play a single line note with the bow always on the string. Keep a steady roll speed to emulate that sound. So in this case, same roll speed throughout. You can change dynamics, but keep the roll speed consistent. Now, a little word about rolls. There's 4 different types of rolls primarily. The first one is the one I'm using right now, the traditional roll. That's basically right, left, back and forth. Very simple. The second one is the double lateral roll from the double lateral strokes. The permutation that's most often used is 1-2-4-3. A third type of roll is called the musser roll, or the ripple roll, or sometimes the flop roll. It's called a flop because the inside stick actually flops after the outside stick has performed. I'm holding the inside stick very loose and relaxed. Doesn't sound like much like a roll, but if you put it with the third mallet, you'll actually hear a triplet type pattern emerge. With 4 mallets, that same pattern, rhythmic pattern, also is consistent, and it sounds like this. Notice that my hands aren't turning, but my wrists are lifting to be able to create that flop sound. It's a very effective roll type, especially at very soft dynamics. And the final roll type is called the single-handed roll or one-handed roll, where one hand alternates back and forth, creating a continuous tone. Now, the other hand does not have to stay at the same speed. It can be slower or faster, depending on the performer. For me, 90 to 95% of the time with rolls, I'm playing traditional rolls. I feel that gives the instrument depth and strength and projection. I use the other rolls in terms of color or texture, if you will, and that will change based upon each phrase. Very rarely do I change roll types inside of the phrase. So as you play this music, this chorale's coming up soon, take a look at that, utilize the traditional roll, and experiment with these others. But primarily, I think you should be performing with the traditional roll. I hope you enjoy these chorales.